Welcome to Head Full of Radio, where a longtime Radiohead fan goes through the whole recorded discography alongside his friend, who's only familiar with the song Creep. Will we agree on the songs? Can I convert him into a fan? Let's find out. Welcome to episode 120 of the Head Full of Radio podcast. I am Andrew, and that is my wonderful co-host, Nico.
Hello, 120.
Yeah.
That is quite the number. Is that like a factorial number?
I don't even know what a factorial is.
Where they have the little exclamation mark afterwards, and it's like all the previous integers times together. But that's not what we're here for today, so we'll leave that out the door.
Okay, I have some learning to do. We have some interesting news today.
Yeah.
And I think people could probably already tell what the news is just based on your sound quality.
Is it really that evident?
It is, yeah.
Because I don't hear it back, so...
Yeah. You're not one of those actors who watches his own movies after it's done, right?
Right.
Yeah, you turn off and tune out.
Yes, a lot of the time.
Do you want to tell them what's different?
Well, if you haven't guessed already from what we've discussed, yeah. I finally have a new laptop with working inaudible fans.
Yay!
So genuinely life-changing. I feel like, yeah, brand new me, brand new laptop, new era.
The first thing that set me off was when you joined automatically, and it didn't take us 20 minutes for you to get set up.
Right. Like, are they familiar with the whole hoo-ha of us always having to get set up and it always never working the first time? I don't even know.
No, but that's a behind-the-scenes thing we haven't really shared.
Yeah. But the way we record, there's always problems on my end with my mic getting picked up. So we usually there's usually several restarts, the joining, unjoining, figuring out if it's me, if it's Andrew, and then, yeah, it's a whole thing. But today, no such drama.
Yeah, I just heard you go, hello, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's usually like, I guess you probably are more eased into hearing me because it's just like, okay, I see that someone is trying to talk and being unsuccessful.
The little green square was perfect today.
Yeah.
And what a perfect time to be in the middle of Kid A.
Sure.
How about that for like a segue?
Yes.
So Treefingers is where we're at. Treefingers is, I would say, a bridge song. It was. It started off on Tom's computer. Ed was just making lots of noises on his guitar. So it's an ethereal, spacey song built from guitar loops. Ed, in a quote, says, "I'm not taking any credit for it because Tom arranged it. He recorded me playing the guitar for 10 minutes and then loaded the parts into a sampler, played bits on his keyboard, and made sense of it. It doesn't sound like a guitar, which is great."
Oh, I forget this is funky era Radiohead.
Well, this isn't really... This is a good gap bridge before the rest of the album.
I see. So I got to say, I am feeling very uncomfortable with just the concept, the idea of tree fingers. It just feels, I don't know, do you know like salad fingers? Do you know about that?
Yeah.
That's what kind of my immediate like visceral reaction is when I read the word tree fingers. I don't like it, but
when I think of tree fingers,
reminiscent of that.
Yeah, no, I don't think it will be. You'll be okay. When I think of Treefingers, I think of a rape scene from Evil Dead. So
yeah, it gives very creepy, like crooked, fingery horribleness. As
if like you were a really old person and your finger was really long and they were pointing at you.
Yeah, very like, like overgrown nail, like overly long, crooked, like maybe warty, but like wooden, and it's not a vibe.
That's not at all what I think we're going to hear.
I really hope not, because that's not what I'm in the mood for, but we'll see.
All right. Are you ready?
I think so. Yeah, let's do it.
Go!
Okay. We have like the ambience already, like from the get-go.
Yes.
This kind of sounds like when I'm like trying to overcome like ADHD distracting brain, and I put like some sort of soothing background frequency songs on. I don't know if you can already call it songs, and this feels very reminiscent of that.
Makes sense. I get that.
So ironically, this could be one of my most listened to Radiohead songs if I just use it for that purpose.
Yeah, or like a really good alarm clock noise.
Potentially, but I don't know if this will wake me up. I feel like this will just make me feel even more comfy in bed.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. It is very soothing.
It might ease me out of like being asleep. Trying to think what I imagine this to be about. Like, does it have to be about something, or are they just like, yeah, it's cool, ambient vibe, tranquilness?
If when you listen to the album, this is, like I said, I think a pretty good sort of break. It's almost like the end of side one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. I feel it'd be interesting to hear this in the context of the album to get that full effect of that transition.
They've played this live twice, by the way. It's not a...
Really? I cannot imagine this live.
And it didn't happen until like much later than the album release.
I wonder how that was received. I can imagine the fact that it's been played so little just makes it a really cool
moment.
Yeah, but as far as beyond that, I don't know how necessarily.
It was neat. There's a YouTube video of it, of the first time they played it, and it's neat where there's that realization among fans who were like, "Oh, we've never heard this."
Wow, that's cool. But yeah, this is making me want to curl up in bed.
That's not a bad thing. It's minus 30 where I am. That
is horrific. Oh, I just got a little taster of what the next one's going to be, and that makes me feel like this is going to be a nice transition.
Yeah, it works really well from where we were to where we're going.
But I also don't know if I trust their song titles to mean what they say. Oh, getting a bit more intense now.
There it goes.
Well, that was definitely different.
Yeah, it's an interesting way. For those who don't know, we record these in batches, and this is our first batch in a while, so it's an interesting place to start.
Definitely.
So hard to judge that out of possible 5.
Yeah, it's very like completely in its own lane. But
yes,
for what it was, like I could see myself literally putting that back on, which is like a really. I feel like that earns like massive points.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
And I feel like with time, I could have like a lot more appreciation and like analysis of it potentially.
Okay.
Like I almost feel like it was, you know, if you like are watching a scene and it's like sort of a deep sea dive and you're just like slowly like spanning like the landscape and you're just seeing the different things down there. And I feel like towards the end we were like getting closer to where like the final destination was, and it gets a bit more like, oh, we've arrived. So that was cool. So I liked it. But again, hard to judge in a conventional sense. So in my usual, I don't know what the metrics are, I'm going to go Johnny and a half. No. I got confused. Ed and a half. Let's calm down. Sorry. Let's just dial that right back. That would have been wild.
That's pretty wild. I think I'm going to go with an Ed. Yes, that's Ed. Yeah. Sounds like a great place to be. for a song like this one, because yeah. In the context of the album, if you do get a chance to sit down and listen to it after we're done, I think it'll make more sense coming into the next track.
I will definitely do that once we finish up. I think I'll give it a full run through.
I think we talked more at the beginning of the episode than we did at the end of the episode. So if this episode's 15 minutes long, it's 15 minutes about your how great your audio sounds.
Well, I love to hear that because I don't hear it back. So I just speak, and then what happens on your end happens on your end. And then
so it's my fault for letting people hear the
I mean, you can only work with what you're given at the end of the day, but hopefully this means you're going to have less work to do.
You make it sound like I edit this a lot so that you don't hear the
In my mind, you do. In my mind, you are like a wizard, and you are having to do all sorts, and I'm just like the headless of the duo, just kind of yapping away, and then letting you do all the spells and the wizardry and the magic.
And the TikToks.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
New age magic.
Well, that's a good time to end this. I'll take that compliment and end this episode off, and I will see you next week.
See you next week. Yeah.
It's just like getting back to business. It's nice.
Treefingers like branches like nature. I can see that now in hindsight. This podcast is recorded on Discord and is edited in GarageBand. The intro and outro music are Radiohead covers and can be found on Spotify under the band Lift. That's Lifte, with F as in Foxtrot. Also, find us on TikTok and Vimeo under the name @Headful of Radio.